Alright, welcome back. This is an update to the dock. As the last video shows, I went ahead and printed this out and didn't quite work right. This snapped off again. This down here was bowed a little bit. I don't know if the plastic warped or what happened, but I couldn't fit that dock piece in there. So I tried sanding it out and everything, and then this piece broke here. And then using the adapters, the adapter cables, these they're so stiff that they were just pushing and trying and putting too much pressure on the lid here, and they're just really stiff. Because I actually have this piece, which I pried apart, wedged something in there, and left it in there for a while, so that way it actually does fit on the dock or on the Steam Deck and works without putting pressure on the port. And this is other than being a little bit wider and probably come down a little more. I think this is similar to the one that will come with the Steam Dock, or the one they're picturing in the image. So that actually does work just fine. And it sits in there nice, you know. But this cable would be coming out over here, and it's just so stiff. It was actually pushing the Steam Deck forward. I wasn't a fan of that. So I did get what's linked below in the previous video description, for the 3D print design. The guy has the link to what he used, and here's what we have. It's this thing right here, the Skull and Candy Jumpgate portable dock with detachable USB hub, HDMI TV adapter for Nintendo Switch, smartphone, and MacBook Black. Okay, now as you can see here, it's got let's see if we can make the image. There we go. All right, it's got the USB-C here at the bottom, and it's got this little nubby piece here. I don't have a switch or anything to know exactly why that's there, unless that's for like a cell phone, since it's a lot thinner than a switch, so you would remove that for the switch maybe. And it does come with this cable, and it comes with the little dock right there. The little dock, here we go, has a lot of different stuff on it. Although you can't access the ones on the side, at least not from the way I currently have it. But anyway, I got it right here. Let me switch back to the camera. So here it is. Now I've modified it. You can see there's a cable coming out the side. So I removed the middle piece here and that little block here. There's the little block piece. That just snaps in that hole, so I'm assuming you probably would remove it for the switch. Let me get this out. Oh, let me get this out of the way here. Get over there. This here is the original piece. It's sat kind of like that, stuck up, up through this hole here, like that. Sorry, I'm trying to get the angles here, but it's not working quite right. But anyway, you get the idea. The idea. So anyway, well, I couldn't figure out a way to get that piece to bend or fold or twist to be able to use the original one. So what I did was I took this and I stuck it in there. All right. So what I do is I took all the big hunky plastic stuff off. Right. Then I plugged it into here, and I had to trim some parts inside here. So I took it apart. There was a couple of screws underneath. There's on the base. Let me turn the camera back on. There's a couple of screws underneath the little stand that pops out. There's two little screws here, and then there's two little screws underneath this top springy piece. You just kind of pry it up from the side and it'll come off. And there's a really long spring inside there, so be careful or it'll pop out. And that's obviously just gives it the the jump up part there. So anyway, so I used that piece, and I should have tested it first. Either it was bad or I broke it. Either way, it wasn't providing power to the Steam Deck. So then I took one of the extension cables. Cause I actually have two. I have this one, and then I have a braided one somewhere around here. Oh, here it is. I have a braided one. So the first one, I glued it into place just like this using just the hot glue. And since it didn't work, I took the cable, trimmed all the plastic off the end, all of this. And then in order to get it right, now there's some standoffs in here and that the original piece would screw onto. I sanded all that off and sanded it down, and each time I put it together like this, and I would set it down to make sure that this was flat, that the core thing was flat, so that way I could slide it in and out when it was in place. Then once I had it where this was going to be, where it was going to be flush up in here, just as if you were going to slide it in. I'm trying to get a better picture here. I'm sorry it's so blurry. I really wish I could do better with it. Then I set it here, held it down, and then did the glue. Then I just cut a big hole on the side here because I couldn't find any other way to route this because it's all pretty tight. I mean, when you close this up, there's no really gap up in there. You can't come out here or even out the side and go up because of the way the Steam Deck sits in it. So anyway, the angle piece didn't work. I had it angled, and then I was just going to plug this straight in. So it didn't work, so I cut the angled one out, and I just plugged the cable straight into it, and then I just hot glued it. The base comes off. There's these 4 little tabs. You just pry them loose, and just remember that the stand piece there goes towards the front, and you just snap it back into place like that. So now it looks like it's back to normal, except for the hole in the side with the cable coming out. So now you can pop out your dock, take it with you if you want, or you can plug it back in, just like it was meant to be. So now, the key thing is, does it actually work? So I need this extension piece here. So here, you can see it holds the Steam Deck just fine. I'm dropping pieces. And then you can just plug it in like this. If you get a thinner cable and a longer one, you could actually just get one of these, and you won't have to worry about any pressure on the port, and just stick it in there like that and come up from underneath. But you need a thinner cable than this because this is really thick and it's not flexible at all. Okay, so now I have this plugged to the same battery bank from the last video. So if we plug this into the back, we see we get a green light that's on, and you can see that the white light on the top now is on. So we actually have a working dock using, well, pretty much the original piece without needing to 3D print anything. The big thing is, it's whether or not you want to spend $43 just to rip this thing apart. But it works. It looks decent. It's got all the little cool stuff on it, and I'm sure many of you out there are probably better tinkers, I guess, or designers, and could probably find some other way. I was thinking using something like this, plugging, setting it up just like I did in there, and just cutting a hole up in here where this would come through, and then you just plug your cable in, your little adapter piece like that, with this coming right up. And I thought about that too. I just didn't have all the tools to be able to cut the plastic without making it nasty looking. Because as you can go back over here, because you can see it's not the cleanest of cuts. I just used a Dremel, so I was the size of the wheel. But I probably could have. I probably should have just taken a little drill or something and just put a little hole in there, plugged all this in, and been good with it. But anyway, there you have it. Just thought I'd show you that, yeah, this there's no need to 3D print one. You can actually just use this one with a little modification, get it to work just fine for what you need. Anyway, the next video, I'm hoping tomorrow I'll have time to now that I have a dock, I can plug this in. I didn't want to install Windows or do anything with it until I had a source of external power, um, and to be able to install Windows or anything else on it. And now that I have the dock, I should be able to do other things with it. So hopefully the next one I'll be installing Windows and maybe testing AirLink or something. I'm sure it'll play some form of VR games. Um, I know you're not going to play any of the AAA type ones, but you should be able. Hopefully, you can play something like Demio or I don't know. I can't think of any of them. I haven't played VR in a while, but hopefully, you should be able to play some of them. We'll find out.